The storyteller presents Tom Thumb.
One evening, many long years ago, a poor old countryman and his wife sat by the fire in their small cottage in the forest.
How lonely we are, good wife. Here we sit by ourselves, getting old, and not one child to make us happy.
Yes, I miss their bright laughter around the house, dear husband. How I have wished for a child. Even if he were no bigger than my thumb, I would still love him dearly.
The woman's wish came true, and she had a little boy called Tom, who was healthy and strong in every way. But he never grew any bigger than his mother's thumb. No matter how much food they gave Tom, he never grew any bigger.
I'm so happy that our wish came true, dear husband. Small as he is, I will love him very much. Let's call him Tom Thumb.
Many years went by, and he became a clever little fellow. He had twinkling merry eyes and was always happy and smiling. One day, Tom's father was getting ready to cut wood.
I must leave now, but I do not have time to harness the horse and drive him into the woods.
Oh, Father, let me do it for you.
You, Tom? How? You are no bigger than the horse's hoof.
I can do it, Father. Please let me try.
All right, Tom, you may try it. Just this once.
And the father strode off, whistling a merry tune. Tom called his mother.
Please, Mother, come and harness the horse. I must take the cart out to Father in the woods.
Tom, how can you?
Please, Mother, I will show you.
His mother harnessed the animal, even though she did not really believe that Tom could drive the horse.
Now put me in the horse's ear.
His mother did as he asked, and Tom yelled,
Giddy up, Rex.
and the horse started to go. His mother was very surprised to see Tom guiding the horse down the road, telling him when to turn left and when to turn right. She watched him until he was out of sight. Just then, two men came along. They saw a horse and a cart without a driver, and heard a voice that seemed to come from the horse's head.
That's strange. A talking horse and a wagon without a driver. Let's follow it and see where it belongs,
said one of the men. Finally, the horse and cart pulled up alongside Tom's father, who was just as surprised as his mother had been.
Whoa, Rex. Well, here we are, Father. I did it. Please take me down,
called Tom. The father lifted Tom out of the horse's ear and set him on top of his lunch basket. The two men were amazed at the little fellow.
Say, old man, we will give you 6 pieces of gold for the boy.
He's not for sale. He is my own boy and means more to me than all the gold in the world.
But Tom Thumb, who heard what was happening, quickly climbed up his father's shirt and whispered in his ear,
Take the money, Father. Don't worry. I'll be back soon.
So his father gave Tom to the men and slipped 6 pieces of gold into his pocket. The men went on their way with Tom sitting comfortably on the hat of one of the men, where he had a nice view of the countryside. After a while, they sat down to rest. When the man put his hat on the ground, Tom ran away and hid in a mouse hole.
My, it's dark in here. I wish I had a candle,
he thought. The men tried to find Tom, but when they could not, continued with their journey. Tom crawled out of the mouse hole. Later, he found an empty snail shell and decided to sleep there for the night. But before he could fall asleep, he heard 2 other men pass by. One said to the other,
I wonder how we could get the rich minister's gold.
I know how.
cried Tom. The men were startled to hear a voice from nowhere.
What is this?
They stopped and listened. Tom spoke again.
Take me with you, and I will show you how to get the gold.
Where are you?
Look on the ground. See? Here I am.
It's a little elf.
They lifted Tom up.
What is your plan?
I will slip through the iron bars of the minister's house and unlock the door from the inside.
They agreed and went to the minister's house. Everyone inside was asleep. Tom slipped in between the iron bars of the window. Then he yelled at the top of his voice.
Where is the door I must unlock?
This scared the robbers.
Shh! Be quiet. You'll wake the whole house.
But Tom pretended not to hear and yelled,
Where is the door? How can you steal the gold if I don't let you in?
Be quiet, you bad boy.
The maid, who was sleeping in the next room, heard Tom yelling and came out with a lantern and a stick. The robbers became frightened and ran away. The maid searched the room but could not find anyone because Tom was hiding behind the leg of a chair. After she left, Tom slipped out of the house and ran into the barn. He was very tired. He found a warm, soft pile of hay, curled up, and soon fell fast asleep. The next morning, the maid came to feed the cows. She picked up an armful of hay, which happened to be the very heap Tom was sleeping in. Suddenly, he was in the mouth of the cow and slid right into the stomach.
Someone forgot to put windows in this room. My, it's dark.
More and more hay kept coming down, and soon Tom had no room to move. Tom yelled,
Stop! Don't give me any more hay!
The maid at that moment was milking the cow, and when she heard Tom's voice from inside the cow, she was so scared that she fell off her stool and spilled the milk. She ran as fast as she could to the minister.
Parson! Parson! The cow is talking!
My good woman, don't be silly.
But he went to the barn anyway, and there he heard Tom yelling inside the cow.
Don't give me any more hay!
The minister thought that the cow was bewitched and ordered that she be killed. Helpers killed and skinned the cow and threw away the stomach with Tom still inside. Tom squeezed through the hay toward the stomach opening. But just as he stuck his head out, along came a big, hungry wolf who swallowed the whole stomach with Tom inside. Tom did not lose his courage. He cried from inside the wolf,
Mr. Wolf, I can show you where there's more food than you can eat.
What kind of food?
There's a house about a mile down the road. You can crawl through the drain into the kitchen, and there you will find cakes, meat, drinks, everything.
Tom did not say that the house was his own. The wolf went there that night. He ate and drank all he could, but when he tried to leave, he was too fat to get through the drain. Tom started shouting,
Father, Mother, help me!
Be quiet. You'll wake up everybody.
I don't care, I want to get out! Father, Mother, help! Help!
Tom's parents ran into the kitchen, but the wolf frightened them.
Father, the wolf has swallowed me!
Our child is home, but we must rescue him. How can we?
Father, pull his tail! Pull his tail!
They cornered the wolf, pulled his tail, and the wolf let out such a yell that he spat Tom right out. The frightened wolf ran away and never returned.
Tom, where have you been?
Oh, I've been in a mouse hole, a snail shell, a cow's stomach, a wolf's insides, and now I'm tired of traveling.
His parents hugged him and cried,
You dear, brave boy.
We will not part with you again. Not for all the gold in the world.
And so they fed him and put new clothes on him. The family was together again, and they lived happily ever after.